A couple of days ago, we got to see the reveal for Nintendo Switch 2, and we saw some gameplay footage on what looked like to be Mario Kart 9. And it's something that's taken the gaming world by storm, and it's something that people have high hopes for. Now, Mario Kart 9 is a game that people have been waiting almost a decade to see because Mario Kart 8, the original version of that game, came out back in 2014 for the Wii U. It ended up being one of the best-selling games on the Wii U, but the problem is the Wii U was a commercial failure, but then the Switch wasn't a commercial failure, and after its launch back in 2017, it was highly successful, and then we got Mario Kart 8 Deluxe that same year, and since the release of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, it ended up being one of the most successful games on that particular console. In fact, it was probably the most successful game on that console because that game did over 64 million copies in terms of sales, beating the likes of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, Zelda Breath of the Wild, Mario Odyssey, Pokemon Sword and Shield, you name it. You know, it's the best selling Switch game that we have gotten within the past couple of years. And a lot of people have been wondering for a long time whether or not Nintendo could top Mario Kart 8 Deluxe in terms of quality, in terms of gameplay, and in terms of overall fun factor. And one of the things that made Mario Kart 8 Deluxe very exciting was the gameplay along with the aesthetics. I feel like the aesthetics was the main thing because the graphics and the way it looked more cartoony and bright, and everything just jumped out at players as they played the game. It was a game that had I think it had like 12 players up in like online races and 8 players up in local wireless gameplay. And that's something that it looks like Nintendo has decided to, I guess, change in relation to Mario Kart 9 because the player count for Mario Kart 9 in terms of races looked like it was like 24. And I'm not sure whether or not it's like online race or local. It's probably online races, but 24 is double that of 12. So if we get up to 24 players in online races, that could be something that's very exciting. That could be something that could add to the overall replay value of Mario Kart 9. But the thing about Mario Kart 9 that kind of jumps out at me the most is the way it looks. It doesn't look as bright and as colorful as Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. And it was said that the it was said that like not Mario, but the Switch 2 is supposed to be as powerful as the PlayStation 4, and I'm not exactly sure how true that is, but I do feel that like the graphics kind of look somewhat similar to something you'd see in the PS4 because by the time we got to the PS4 era of gaming, it seems like the gameplay for video games in general shifted more towards a more realistic look, and Mario Kart 9 looks more realistic than Mario Kart 8 in terms of like aesthetics, in terms of physics and stuff like that. And some people have fears that that might detract from the overall quality of Mario Kart 9 because it's moving away from what made Mario Kart 8 Deluxe attractive to casuals for the most part. And and I will say, like, you know, the level that we got to see in relation to like the reveal trailer for the Switch 2 is something that a lot of people are impressed by. Although I do feel like the graphics could be a little bit more polished, but I still feel like the game is in development, which most likely it is because it hasn't been released yet. And and I think some changes were made by Nintendo that some people are they're somewhat unhappy with. Like, for example, with Donkey Kong's character design, people feel like they shouldn't have changed Donkey Kong from how he looked in the previous game. But obviously, Nintendo tried to give him his classic look, which was pretty much the same look that he had in the Super Mario Brothers movie in 2023. And I think Princess Peach had her hair down opposed to it being tied in a ponytail. So Nintendo is shifting back to retro looks and they're trying something new with Mario Kart 9. And it's something that I can respect. But the question is it something that is going to go over well with hardcore fans of the Mario Kart series. And the reason I say this is because there's a lot riding on Mario Kart 9 because I feel like the bar was set really high with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe in terms of commercial success and in terms of sales. And a lot of people are wondering whether or not Mario Kart 9 can surpass Mario Kart 8 Deluxe in terms of sales. I mean, to me, Mario Kart 9 to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is going to be what GTA 6 is to GTA 5. And the crazy thing is, like GTA 5 and the original Mario Kart 8 game came out like a year apart from each other because like Mario Kart 8 came out in 2014 and GTA 5 came out in 2013, and they both ended up being two of the biggest, most popular games of the teens decade. So yeah, there's a lot riding on Nintendo for Mario Kart 9 to be a huge success. Same thing with Rockstar. There's a lot riding on GTA 6, and a lot of people are wondering whether or not that game is going to end up surpassing GTA 5. And it seemed like both of those games are coming out this year. But the thing is, Nintendo hasn't necessarily confirmed anything just yet. A lot of people are speculating that it's going to come out in 2025, but we have no idea. I mean, it could be pushed back till next year, just in case Nintendo decides to take a little bit more time to polish the game. We're almost certain GTA 6 is coming out in 2025, unless something comes up and Rockstar decides to push that back. But it seems like 2025 is going to be a blockbuster year for gaming. And the thing is, there's still a lot of details about Mario Kart 9 that we do not know just yet. And I'm pretty sure we're going to find out as time goes by within the next couple of months or so. I believe we're supposed to be getting a Nintendo Direct presentation this upcoming spring, like around April or something. So we're definitely going to learn more about it, and we're probably going to get an official gameplay trailer, which goes in depth on what we can expect from Mario Kart 9. But as far as sales expectations are concerned, um, I'm not exactly sure, like whether or not it's going to end up surpassing Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, but I could definitely see the game doing like I could see it doing somewhere between like 8 and 10 million in terms of sales within its first year because I can see Nintendo launching the Switch 2 alongside with Mario Kart 9. Because I remember, I think Nintendo did something like that with Breath of the Wild. I think Breath of the Wild came out around the same time the original Switch console came out, and it ended up doing crazy sales. And if Nintendo decides to, do that again, but with Mario Kart 9, I do feel that, that game could do like 10 mil within like a year or two. And as far as it surpassing Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, I feel like it's going to take years for that to happen because it took years for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe to do over 64 million in sales. And and I really think it depends on what features are going to be added in Mario Kart 9. And the thing is, I hope Nintendo understands that, realism in racing games doesn't necessarily guarantee that your game is going to be a massive success because look at Gran Turismo 7. When that game first came out, a lot of people were ripping on it, even though it was like mainly because of microtransactions. A lot of people were ripping on it because I guess it just I don't know, it felt too like dull and lifeless and whatever. I feel like the Gran Turismo series in general had just like lost its spark over time and the Gran Turismo series in terms of popularity had peaked back in the 2000s, but it seems like the Mario Kart series has just aged like wine. It seems like every installment that we get is better than the last, and I'm hoping that's the case with Mario Kart 9 once it comes out in the future.